Hey everyone, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel and another edition of what's happening on the farmstead. Throughout this video, you're going to hear some thunder in the background because it is still raining every other day or so, and it's fixing to rain again today. So let me get turned around and we're going to run through this update real quick. Okay, here we are at garden number 1, which is our container garden, and it has been going great. As I said last week, I think ever since we've got the irrigation fixed, this thing has been a huffing and a puffing, and it has been growing and producing great for us. So just a couple of things. Something new is, well, you've seen these 3 right here, but this center one is a bouquet deal, and it has 5 monarch caterpillars on there. There's 2 there, and 1, 2, 3 right there. It had a 6th one on it yesterday, so I don't know what happened to the 6th one. I don't know if a bird got it. I don't see it on the ground anywheres, but I just point that out to you because probably on our next video you're going to see something different as far as the caterpillars here. Now that is one Blessed Nana's hobbies, is raising butterflies. Now there's no money in it, but it is just a way of sustaining life on God's creation we call Earth. So should be an update on the butterfly project hopefully the next time around. But again, the strawberries have been doing fine, especially in this heat and rain and then heat and rain, so they're going great. These cucumbers here have been growing great, and I'll show you some of that at the end. The jalapeno peppers, we have picked a few, but let me get around here to the other side. They are producing now. I guess y'all can see them in there, but they've been doing great. We have some mini eggplants that have been doing great. The tomatoes are almost ready. I think Jackie has picked a few. Sweet potatoes, mine going blank. Sweet potatoes are a hit and miss. I think most of them we planted 3. Seeing that one, only 2 has come up. No, we planted 2 in each one. So got 1 missing there. So first time growing sweet potatoes, so we're okay. I know y'all can hear that thunder in the background, and 1 lightning bolt's hole come through. So it is supposed to rain the rest of the day. Idaho potatoes are still coming up, but not growing like we thought they would. So it's a hit and miss. Yukon Gold hasn't come up. So we replanted the blue tubs with Clemson spineless okra. They're, for the most part, they are coming up. You can see tomatoes over there. The squash and zucchini have been going great. Here's some zucchini right here. And that one there, I'm gonna have to watch it get it tomorrow. Jackie's on her way to New York, taking Andrew back to New York, so they are driving back. I'm posting this on Monday morning, so I had to go pick her up at the airport in Jacksonville, Florida, Tuesday night. See, there's some squash there. Like I say, all these tomatoes, they have been growing great. If they all get ready at the same time, we're gonna have tomatoes out our ears, and they're all different kinds of tomatoes. Cantaloupe, I think I showed you the 3 or the 4 that were growing there. Ansley's corn here is growing somewhat. And I say the somewhat because the disappointment is not her, it's not the corn. It is, you can see we let these weeds get away, but watermelon there, another watermelon there, 3 right there. Another one there. So that is garden number 2 here with all the weeds. You can see a row of flowers down there. Let me zoom in right there. I'm trying to stay close to the truck because in case the bottom falls out with the rain. The sunflower seeds are all Haas tools. The flowers are a mixture of Haas tools and some from Flight 93 Memorial when we stopped there in Pennsylvania. But even the sunflowers are a mix. But again, the weeds really got us. So you see sunflowers there. And let me get around here to these right here. So, and like I say, we mix these. So you see yellow here. You see these red ones here. And there's a different name for them. And we just mix those seeds together, trying to use some old seeds, stuff like that. But what is different about garden number 2 is you see the corn is gone. We have finally mowed that up because it wasn't doing nothing because of the weed pressure. But we did leave the okra. So we got a whole row here and weeded that the best we could. Got some more watermelon over there. So that is garden number 2. But before we get to garden number 3, I'm going to show you something else. Now, we have discussed the stakes before, and we've always said, you know, we're going to build here, but we're liking to not make that house payment. So again, we're still not ready to put a shovel in the ground, but we did mow. So this is our house here, and I think it's 2,000 square feet, maybe a tick more. I don't remember that off the top of my head, but it's going somewhere in this hole right here where we've mowed. And back here, I don't know if you can see the rain yet, but I'm getting wet. So this clip's going to be real short. But, you know, I have some good YouTube friends. Just on YouTube, and then some that have become real life friends. And one of those is Dee and Doug, and their channel is Dee and Doug Retired. So we've also said that, you know, we'll build a mother-in-law suite. Now, I don't know if my mother-in-law is going to move in it. Heck, I might move in it. But it's going to be right there. If nobody moves in it, heck, this might be Dee and Doug's winter home where they can get out of those brutal winters in Pennsylvania and move to South Georgia during the summer. I just don't know though if they can stand the gnats, the yellow flies, and the snakes, because that's something that they don't deal with up there that they will deal with here. It'll be a warm winter, but it'll be a hot summer with all sorts of critters. So Dee, you need to make sure this is what you want. Now, I don't remember what kind of vine this is, and said I wasn't going to let it grow back this year, but obviously we have, because the bees love it. Obviously there's not any right now because of the rain, but the bees love this vine. Of course, there's a pecan tree growing up in the middle of it, so that needs to go. When we tear this vine down next year, that pecan tree is going to get gone because I don't need it growing up next to this shelter. But you know, down at the garden we have not had no honeybees that I saw of, and very few bumblebees. So I may, before next year, figure out what this vine is and trellis me a couple of cow panels where this vine will be a permanent fixture in the garden and not a permanent fixture here on the end of the shelter. Update on the chicks. All 12 are still alive. They're all healthy. They are eating, sleeping, drinking, and as you can see, they are pooping. So we still haven't decided on the style of coop and run we're building, but that's got to be done soon. But sooner than that, I've got to figure out how to build a door on this back end where I can get in. See, now they come running to me because they know I'm the one that feeds and waters them. Even though I didn't want 12, I have really taken a liking to them. So 6 Rhode Island Reds, 6 mixtures of something else. So that still gives us 12. We know the Rhode Island Reds are hens. We've already talked about that, or females. The other 6 we're not sure of. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I've got to get a door back here where I can take a hoe and reach in there and clean this pen out. But they love me, I love them. Oh, I think I told some of y'all the tractor had some injector issues, so just an update on that. We put new tires on the front, had one that the valve stem was leaking, and the tires are in such bad shape. Then I went ahead and replaced the two on the front. You can see both of the backs need to be replaced. They are cracked and everything else, but they still have plenty of tread here, so I may not change them. Yeah, see down there, that one's even worse. So I may not change them until they get bad. But besides the tires, we had an issue with the injectors, so they are been pulled out, gone to the shop, and getting rebuilt, because I'd rather have the rebuilt originals than I would some aftermarket. So that's an update on the tractor. With the storms we've had, the rusty hinges on this bulk tobacco barn, that door finally fell off, so I'm going to have to replace them. And I want to keep that barn just for historical reasons. It's the last one remaining on this farm. There used to be 2 or 3 more here, so I want to keep that, just convert it over to a storage building. And let's get to garden number 3, which is, you know, I guess what I'm going to say, my pride and joy. I have really poured some blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, trying to keep it from happening like garden number 2 did this year, like garden number 2 did last year. So really trying to take some time with this. And if you watched my Tool Tuesday video last week, you would see the Haas double wheel hoe that I demonstrated, and it has worked great. Now there's still, because of the width, some of these I have to go down, back up. It should go back down in the middle, because I've got that strip right there, but I didn't do. But you can see it is much cleaner than garden number 2 is. And got a pile of weeds there, pile of weeds there. You know, you can see weeds all up and down there, because after I hoe, I take my metal tooth rake and slightly bring all the weeds to the end, because it does no good to hoe and then leave the weeds there. Now, yes, there are still weeds in the row, and I've got another device I'm going to show, or another tool that I'm going to show later on how we get that out. But this is our Silver Queen corn that was planted April 27th. And you can see the high part out there is way above my waist, where this little piece is right at knee height. So, you know, they always say knee high in July. So this is definitely knee high in June. But the weeding has done great, because one, the water can get to the plant with no competition, makes it easier to fertilize. And we have out here in the middle, I don't know if I can zoom in enough to see, one of Nana's monarch butterflies right out here in the middle of the corn patch. So here is our 2.5 rows of white acre peas, and it used to be, and the reason it's a half a row is because the sprinkler there used to sit in the middle, so that just give us the walking path. But when we expanded to add on, we moved the sprinkler over a little bit. So some Valencia peanuts, and this is the first time this has been weeded in 3 weeks. So again, still got some weed pressure there, but yesterday was Saturday. Today I'm filming this on Sunday, showing it to you on Monday. So still got a little work to do, as displayed by the rake and all that right here. This is our Jimmy Red corn. The stand is not as great as we'd like. You can see my wheel hose down there in the middle, so I got to get it put up out of the rain. But this is going to be the corn that we grow, that we grind into grits and cornmeal. So since we got the initial weed pressure out a week ago, this has come back. I don't know, John tilled all this with a tractor at the same time, but I just don't know if we didn't till this good enough. It's been cotton the last 2 years, peanuts 2 years before that, and then cotton 2 years before that. So this has always been a field. But the kudzu vines have really taken over. So this has been tough to clean, but still working on it. I'm not going to let garden number 3 get away from us like I did garden number 2. Okay, I don't think I've showed Jackie's let pot in the last couple of weeks, but again, cucumbers to the right, 2 tomatoes in the middle, and some kind of leafy green here on the left. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's romaine or spinach or whatever. But yesterday we did plant or seeded 24 pumpkins, and it is 4 different varieties, and I do not remember them off the top of my head. She has it wrote down, so we'll see how those do, because this will be our first year planting pumpkins, because I love pumpkin pie. Now normally it's canned pumpkin, so I don't think I've ever had a fresh pumpkin pie, and if I had, I do not remember it, obviously. So we're going to give that a crack this year to see what a fresh pumpkin pie tastes like. Now, as I get ready to close this video, I brought you into the house just to show you a couple of things, because I really haven't showed you us harvesting things, but trust me in that we are. We don't have any squash or anything in the or zucchini in the refrigerator, so that's all gone somewheres. But here's 2 different kinds of cucumbers that we've been getting. You know, some bigger ones here, and actually the bigger ones, they're going to Becky's house because they're eating lunch today over there. So that, and then we got the pickling ones here. We've got some banana peppers here. Now John cooked us a low country boil last night, so he had rutabagas, corn, sausage, shrimp, Alaskan snow crab, and our red potatoes and our Yukon Gold potatoes. So, and of course there's rutabagas here, but we didn't grow them. So the only thing out of the low country boil was our 2 different types of potatoes. Now, when we have these harvests, you can see that they're all in bags, and it can be overwhelming at that moment in time. And so we haven't put up any pickles yet, but what Jackie has been doing with these cucumbers is fixing cucumbers and onions in some type of liquid, and I can't remember that, how she makes the liquid. And she's actually gone to take Andrew back to New York, so they're driving. So that's why she's not here for me to ask questions. But these here are not a pickle. They taste like cucumbers. The rinds are still on them, and again, I do not know what this brine is. But it's a cucumber in a brine, not a pickle in a brine. And these are awesome. And again, it's just trying to figure out different ways to use your harvest, because if you keep eating the same thing over and over, it no longer becomes tasty, and it no longer becomes fun. So in another video, I'll get her to make the other cucumbers and onions and get her to remake this, and we just may do a video on just that. But enjoy your harvest. Find different things to do with your harvest so you don't get bored and no longer want to eat them, because fresh food grown from your own garden or from a neighbor's garden is what's going to lead us to a healthier lifestyle. This store-bought processed stuff is what's killing us. All these preservatives, artificial sweeteners, these dyes are what's killing us. So to all my gardening friends out there, enjoy your harvest. Until we get back together, y'all take care and God bless.